Hey vinyl community, it is I, King's Drummer, and it's time for another vinyl video. And as you can hear in my voice, I'm feeling a little under the weather these days. I got a cold, real bad cold, so a lot of congestion, runny nose, sneezing, coughing, and just feeling out of it like a zombie. But did that stop me from crate digging? Hells no. I still went anyway, but man, it was rough. it was the hardest crate dig I ever did in my life. Just felt terrible today, and today being Saturday, it was really my only chance to do some serious vinyl shopping. But you know, I was just feeling so bad today that I just kind of just grabbed what I can grab and went home and just got some rest. But I'm feeling a little better. Good enough to make a video, so I thought I'd give it a shot here. So bear with the frog voice here, but I do want to show these records, and we're going to start off with an album from U2, and it's called Boy. And the reason I bought the album was because of this cover. I've never seen this album with this album cover. I always saw the one with the black drawings that went kind of across the way, but I never seen it with this cover before. Thought it was interesting. I mean, the music, of course, is good on here. I mean, I Will Follow and The Electric Company are probably two of the most popular songs on this record. But really happy to see this copy of it with this different cover on it. You know, I'm not that familiar with the history of this record, so maybe this was the original cover, and the other one I spoke of was a reissue or just a domestic cover for US. I'm not sure, but I really like this cover, so I went and got it. It's only $3. What the hell? And I do like the music on here. So U2, Boy. And the next one is Stevie Ray Vaughan in Double Trouble, Live Alive. 2 record set, live recording, some great shit. I can't say I like the blues. I don't collect a lot of it, but this is a great album. Great album. I had this on cassette, and I loved Superstition, Say What, Pride and Joy, Cold Shot, Texas Flood, Voodoo Child, live version of Voodoo Child's on here. Love Struck Baby's always been one of my favorite songs by Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's a great album. I remember the cassette I listened to a lot. I haven't been listening to it much lately, so really glad I picked this one up. Live Alive by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Really cool blues recording. And next up, a jazz record, the best of Tony Williams. Real excited to find anything by Tony Williams that isn't Joy of Flying. Now, don't get me wrong, I like that album. I own it already on vinyl, and that made me want to get more Tony Williams records. But every time I go to the vinyl shop, all I see is other copies of the Joy of Flying. So it was happy to see something else with his name on it besides the Joy of Flying. I haven't listened to this one yet. Actually, I haven't listened to anything yet, so really looking forward to spinning this one because I love the way this guy plays drums. Great drummer, and real inspiring. Learn a lot from this guy when I listen to his drumming, so cool shit. Moving right along, record from Procol Harum, Grand Hotel. A few videos back, I thanked the teacher because he sent me a Procol Harum record in the mail, and later I think Derek Vaughn suggested I listen to this album Grand Hotel if I like what I heard from Procol Harum. So I went ahead and saw this in the vinyl store. It was only $3, and I thought, man, what the hell? I'll give it a shot. And like I said, I haven't listened to any of these records yet, but can't wait. The record the teacher sent me was called Something Magic, and I did like that album, so. And this came highly recommended from Derek, so. Derek's never steered me wrong before. I doubt he ever will, so can't wait to curl up with this one. Procol Harum, Grand Hotel. Excuse me. Okay, my last video, I bought a bunch of cheap records for like 50 cents. One of them was Wang Chung. And I had a discussion with Derek and his sister, Stephanie, and we were both saying the one song we liked from Wang Chung was To Live and Die in LA. And I like that song too. In fact, it's my favorite one from that band. I have it on CD, but never had a vinyl copy until now. So here we are, Wang Chung, To Live and Die in LA. This is the motion picture soundtrack from a film by the same name. And really, I was hoping to find a 12-inch single of the song, but couldn't find that anywhere. So I went and got the whole movie soundtrack. And of course, the song To Live and Die obviously is on there as well. I've never heard anything else off of this album, so this should be interesting. It's on Geffen, and what I didn't realize is, I mean, the movies, I've actually seen the movie, Willem Dafoe's in it, and it's a pretty good movie from back in the 80s. I didn't know William Friedkin was a director. On here, in fact right here, some words printed on here from William Friedkin saying how awesome musicians the guys from Wang Chung are and how glad he was to work with them on this project. So William Friedkin, of course, was the director of The Exorcist. So I never knew he directed this movie, so interesting, makes me want to see the movie again. But To Live and Die in LA has always been my favorite Wang Chung song. I just love the vibe they create in that song. It's like one of the best songs they've ever written. And I still remember when that movie came out back in the 80s, it was my favorite song for quite a while, still is. And I have it, like I said, I got a copy of it on CD, and it is a great song. So real glad to have a vinyl copy of that tune. Another album from Earth, Wind & Fire. This is Head in the Sky. It's a gorgeous ballad, that song, Keep Your Head in the Sky. Or Keep Your Head to the Sky, sorry, Head in the Sky. Keep Your Head to the Sky. Jeez, you can tell I'm sick, I'm screwing up titles of songs. It's a gatefold record. And I love me some Earth, Wind & Fire. And their early records are just as enjoyable as the records from the late 70s and early 80s. They're just a great band with so much to offer, the music listener. From jazz to R&B to funk to I guess fusion, I guess you could say, because they do a lot of good instrumental music. This is just such a great team of songwriters. Maurice White is one of my favorite musicians. Philip Bailey is one of my favorite singers. I was raised on Earth, Wind & Fire with my older brothers. I used to play it around the house all the time, so I was pretty much raised on their music and their albums. So always glad to bring a good copy of Earth, Wind & Fire into my vinyl collection. This is a very welcome addition. So Earth, Wind & Fire, Head to the Sky, not Head in the Sky. That's where my head is, actually. Cool album from Prince and the Revolution, Parade. And this one's a gatefold as well. It goes this way, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. I can't even fit it in the frame. There we go, yeah, and here's one part of it, the back, there's the front. And I remember when this album came out, the big song, of course, was Kiss. And Another Hole in Your Head, I think was the name of the other one. If I could see on here, I'll let you know. Yeah, Another Hole in Your Head. Another Lever Hole in the Head, something like that. You know, and the song Mountains, I remember were really the killer songs on this album. Never owned this before, but I've been watching a lot of Prince clips on YouTube, and there's no denying how great a songwriter is. I think Derek showed a lot of his Prince collection, both album and CD, and yeah, I've always been influenced by his music. The guy is just a killer songwriter. I think it was last year he started doing a set of concerts, some shows, and he was playing some pretty big venues in New York and Chicago and some of the larger cities in the United States. And he had a special deal with Live Nation, where each ticket was only $25. $25 to see Prince, an evening with Prince. That's like a fantasy now, because thanks to Ticketmaster, jacking prices up to $150, $200 a ticket. And some of these bands are like your heroes and you don't want to pay that much, but what choice do you have? Well, it's good to see artists, huge iconic artists such as Prince, not falling into that and doing shows for $25, because he had said on the George Lopez show back when it was airing, because that's what he used to pay to go see concerts. That's what it used to cost him to go see a good show, $25 to $30, and he thinks it's a shame that such a thing, that's such a travesty where people have to pay so much to see a concert. So I'm glad to see he's bringing it back to old school values, and especially an iconic guy like him. So I'm glad he's taking a stand over inflated ticket prices, because it is ridiculous. All right, those last couple of records are all from the Jackson family. So it's a live record from the Jacksons. It's just called Live, Jackson's Live. And this is a real fun live album. As well as watching a lot of Prince on YouTube, I've been watching a lot of Michael Jackson on YouTube. And it just happened suddenly. Last couple of days or so, I've just been watching a lot of Michael Jackson's music videos and listening to a lot of his stuff on YouTube. It must be because I'm sick or something, but actually I love Michael Jackson's music, and on here we got some classics from the Jackson 5, like ABC, I Want You Back, I'll Be There, but we also have some songs from Michael Jackson's first solo album, such as Off the Wall, Rock With You, Working Day and Night, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. This is a great album, good version of Heartbreak Hotel on this, as well as the opening track, Can You Feel It. They look like, I know they have a reputation of just putting on amazing concerts with, a great stage setup, really great light show, as well as their dancing and a very tight live band. And it's very evident on this record because the band sounds great. This was released in '81, so this had to be like a tour during 1980, I believe. I'm not really sure. I didn't really look at the album credits. But this is a great live record, real fun stuff on here. Before Michael Jackson was lip syncing live, this is when he was still singing with that pure voice of his, and his voice sounds great on this record. Maybe he touched up later in the studio, I don't know, but it sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. Love this album. And this era of Michael Jackson, the Jacksons, I actually loved their music. This is before it got a little too ridiculous, but because I think the album after this probably would have been Victory, and I wasn't really too crazy about that album, but love this album, and was listening to this right when I got home, and really enjoyed it. So real fun stuff, Jackson's Live. And speaking of Jackson, I got his sister's record, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1814. This was a huge record when I was 19 years old. When I was 19, you couldn't escape this record even if you tried. So many good songs on this, so many hit singles came off of this album. You had to like it. How could you not? Rhythm Nation, Miss You Much, Love Will Never Do Without You, All Right, Escapade, Black Cat, Come Back to Me. Some good stuff on here. When I was 19, I had just graduated from high school, and this was one of my favorite albums. Even though I was getting more into rock music, this was a fun record to have. Even if you weren't a fan of R&B, even if you weren't a fan of female singers, this was a good record. There was no denying it. And the team of Janet Jackson's vocals with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis producing, that was a great team. They were just all over the top 40 charts in the late 80s, early 90s. It was a great team, and you just couldn't escape them. And to round it all out, I got a 45 of Janet Jackson, When I Think of You. This was from the Control album. And the reason I got this song was for personal reasons. I once went to a high school dance, and Usually our high school dances have a DJ. Well, this particular dance had a live band, and they did a lot of R&B covers. And they did this song, When I Think of You, and you know, I saw the video on MTV, of course, and just thought it was an okay song. For some reason, watching a live cover band do it at a high school dance really made me love the song, and I've loved it ever since. And here I am in my 40s, early 40s, and I still like the song, to the point where I'm over here buying it on a 45 record. The song on the flip side here is called Pretty Boy. Never heard of that one before, but it is on A&M. And maybe I'll start collecting more of these and collect more Janet Jackson records. I've found a ton of them. Should have bought more than I did, but you know, I just kind of had my heart set on these two and thought, what the hell, I'll get these. So there we go. Janet Jackson, When I Think of You on 45. Well, that's going to do it there. Small little stash there. It was so hard buying records today. I think every time I looked down, I would just get dizzy and have to go outside and clear my head and then go back in for another 20 minutes of, you know, digging through records. Man, it was rough, but I was glad to at least bring something home, and I was glad to make a video. Well, that's going to do it for me, and I'll see everybody at the next video.